came up with this crazy idea that if we could make a sharp probe like you see here and end up having a small hole in it that's much smaller than the wavelength of light, then if we pass light through that probe, it would act like a little nano flashlight that we could drive around on the sample and beat the usual diffraction limit and get nanometric resolution. And the goal was to make an optical microscope that would be able to look at living cells with the resolution of an electron microscope. So I often say that every technology I've ever invented, you invest so much of your time and your energy in, they're just as much of an investment as you have in your own children. And I came up with this crazy idea that would interfere light from various different directions to build a lattice like the crystal lattices that you have in semiconductors that would make a massively multifocal 3D microscope for fast live imaging. So we went all the way from having that idea, having all the data that was in the paper that ultimately appeared in Science, and ultimately got me the Nobel Prize in 6 months. I always like to focus on the problems, because the problems, if you can state the problem, you got half of the way to the solution. So I think dissatisfaction in your own work, being your own toughest critic, is really a hallmark of success, because then it will always lead you to the next thing where you can stay ahead of everybody else. And my belief is that one of the major problems in academic science today is the size of the groups. Just as you go ahead in your career, don't necessarily pick the group or the guy that has the big group and the big name. Try to find the guy, the young guy, the struggling guy, who's got the big idea instead.